Hello, welcome to Oceanic Oracle. My name is Ari and today we're doing today I'm filming my June unhaul. To those of you who are new, you may not know this, but I am moving in, I'm actually moving in August, but this will be the last time that I'll film in front of my shelves when they are full, depending on what ends up happening the next few weeks. You may see empty shelves, you may see no shelves. You'll also notice that I have cleared this shelf out, so a lot of stuff has happened. I do not have many books left, so it's a process. I have a giant, I can't even pull it up because it's one massive bag full of books plus other miscellaneous things that I have, and I am just going to go through it with you. I will not be going into in-depth comments about these books because I do not have the time. I'm just going to show you which books I'm unhauling, give you a brief, maybe one or two sentence reason, if there is a sentence, and then move on because there are a number of books that I need to give away. I will say this is just going to be in absolutely any order. I have no set order for these books. I've just thrown them in a bag and that's that. So let's get started. The first one that I have in this bag is Once Upon a Broken Heart. I enjoyed this when I read it, but it is a bit damaged. I'm definitely going to be picking up the next book in the series, but I don't feel like I need to own it. So that's getting donated. I have Eagle Strike by Anthony Horowitz. This is the Alex Rider series. These are very easy to get a copy of, and I think I actually own them on audiobook. Very fun series, highly recommend it. I was obsessed when I was younger. I think I've grown out of it, so don't really want to read books about spies anymore. Next book I have on here is Assassin's Apprentice. I want to get these digitally. I just feel like it's easier knowing Robin Hobb and her writing. So as much as I like owning this copy, this is actually probably going to go to my dad, and I'm sure he's going to enjoy it. I have Agatha Christie's Sad Cypress. I believe I actually own this on audiobook, and I feel like Agatha Christie books are really easy to come by. I think lots of other people would enjoy this, like who doesn't love a good murder mystery with Hercule Poirot. I believe, yes, it's Hercule Poirot in this. Tons of people enjoy Agatha Christie. It's a mystery thriller. I'm not going to read it again. I tend not to reread thrillers, so donation. Next book I am donating / giving away is I Was Born for This. I enjoyed this when I read it, but I feel like I'm not going to reread it, unlike the other Alice Oseman's that I have up here. I think I gave this 4 stars when I read it. This is really fun, and I'm sure lots of young people here who want to pick this up would love it, so it's being donated. I'm also getting rid of my 2 massive copies of the Trials of Apollo series, so the Hidden Oracle and the Dark Prophecy. I plan on getting new copies, so I am actually probably going to purchase a whole new set of the Trials of Apollo series in similar editions to what I have on my shelves with the Heroes of Olympus series up there and the Percy Jackson series. I just prefer the US covers to these massive UK ones, so again, it's just personal preference and know thyself. The next book I'm getting rid of is Cinderella is Dead. I really enjoyed this when I read this last year. I don't feel like picking it up again. I am interested in Caitlin Brennan's new stuff because she's released 2 new books which are inspired by Greek myth. Sadly, I don't have access to them here, but I plan on getting them when I am in the UK. I just don't plan on bringing it with me. I haven't reread it, I haven't touched it since I read it last year. The next book I am giving away is Blood Ransom by Sophie Mackenzie. Blood Ties is the first book in this series, and that's been given away, and I just don't feel like keeping the second book. If you don't know what Blood Ties is, it's a sort of science fiction story. It's about clones. It's fascinating. I really love the series. It's sort of a thriller, like a YA thriller. Very good series, highly recommend it. I just don't feel the need to take the second book, especially when I don't have the first one. I am giving away The Chosen and the Beautiful. Again, I enjoyed this, but The Great Gatsby is not my favourite book. I liked this retelling of it, and I think if you want to read The Great Gatsby, but you want to have a more of a queer read into it, definitely pick up The Chosen and the Beautiful. It is a wonderful book, but I haven't reread it and I probably won't reread it again. It just comes down to me not wanting to reread books. The next book I am donating is Spellslinger. I really loved this when I read it, but I don't see the point of me keeping it and go purchase new books when I'm in the UK, and I don't feel the need to weigh my giant container down with stuff that I can easily get. Next book, I'm getting rid of Death in the Dordogne. This is my mum's copy. She says she has multiple copies in the UK, so don't need to keep it. I'm keeping this second book in the series because I haven't read it yet. That is that. The next books are part of a manga series, and they are the fairy tale series. I really enjoy these books, but the best thing about it is they're all available on Kindle Unlimited. I read all the way up to edition 50 on my Kindle last year. So if you're looking to read the fairy tale manga series and you have Kindle Unlimited, you have access to pretty much all the way up to number 50. Fantastic series. I really enjoyed this manga, but I don't feel the need to bring it with me. Here's the first Alex Rider book in the series, Stormbreaker. Again, I was obsessed when I was younger. If you want a cool spy series about a 14-year-old guy, if you want to read about like a 14-year-old spy, check out the Alex Rider series. They are fantastic. I'm getting rid of The Wind in the Willows next. It's a childhood book. There are tons of editions available of Wind in the Willows, and I don't have any sentimental value towards this really, so being donated. The next book I'm donating is The Mine by Antti Tuomainen. This is a Finnish story. This author was on the BBC, and my mum got some books from him for me and my sisters. If you're into sort of like ecological thrillers with like journalism in it, it was a fun read. It was a fun thriller, and I think if you're into thrillers, you should definitely check out this author. Next book that I'm donating is Watership Down. I read this when I was a lot younger. This is it's a classic. It's about a warren of rabbits moving and trying to find a new home. It's quite emotional from what I remember, and I think if you are looking for like a sort of like classic animals children's book, it's sort of a children's classic, even though there's some stuff in here that I wouldn't say is for children. But I remember reading this, or listening to it more accurately. There's also a television production on Netflix, I believe, and I think that's relatively close to what goes on in here. But if you haven't read Watership Down and you like animals, maybe check it out, although it does get a bit traumatic at times. It's not a and they lived happily ever after book, I will say. Next one I am donating is Don't Hate the Player. This is fun. It's a YA contemporary. It's got video games. It talks about misogyny and sexism within the gaming sphere, if that's interesting to you. But I think it's a great book. I'm sure lots of people will love it. More people should have access to it. So donated. The next book I'm donating is Girl, Woman, Other. I own this on audiobook. I don't need a physical copy, so it was a good book. I just don't need a physical copy of it anymore. I have a few non-fiction books that I am donating to. Dive Sites of Indonesia. It's a very nice book, very interesting, but I don't need it. Another one I am donating is Fire in the Sea, which is a non-fiction book about Santorini. It's very interesting, but it goes into a lot of, like, if you like geology, it's interesting because I visited Santorini. I visited Santorini in 2018. It's interesting to read about the actual volcano, because it's the remnants of a caldera, if you know what that is. Yeah, it's interesting to read, but I'm not gonna pick it up again. The next book I'm donating is Villette by Charlotte Bronte. Very easy to get a hold of in the UK. I haven't read it since I picked it up last year, so donation. This might be shocking, but I'm getting rid of a few of my Jane Austen editions. Mainly my small Emma, my small Northanger Abbey, my small copy of Persuasion. I already own Persuasion in the UK, and I have a better edition that I enjoy the look of more. I'm also planning on buying both me and my mum a set to share because we both really enjoy Jane Austen. Oh, I also forgot to mention I am getting rid of this edition of Sense and Sensibility, as well as Mansfield Park. So I'm basically, what I'm doing is I'm getting rid of all of these and donating them. There'll be people out there who want to read Regency romance. 5 out of 6 of the Jane Austens ain't bad, in my opinion. But yeah, the next 2 books I'm getting rid of are these editions of Lord of the Rings. I own better editions. I actually own the set that goes with. I own all 3, well, I own the editions that look like this in the UK already. I do not need these 2 as well to weigh my bag down, so I am donating these. In these editions we actually lost the 2 towers, so I have no idea where that's gone, but yep, those are being donated. Another non-fiction book is Learn Ancient Greek. I'm sure this is easy to come by. I just haven't picked this up since, like, I think it came out in 2010, and there are other ways to learn ancient Greek which would be interesting to me, but that's beside the point. I am getting rid of Black Beauty. This is a book, this is a child's classic. I don't have any sentimental value related to it. I'm not going to reread it. No point me keeping it. I also have some adult colouring books, mainly Bake Off, Great British Bake Off, and Marine Life. I haven't coloured in either of them. I tend to draw and colour to take my mind off things, but yeah, I'm sure other people would love these. The last 2 books I have that I'm donating are these copies of A Court of Thorns and Roses. Now, I know I own all of these on Kindle because I bought them on Kindle with the new covers, and the new covers are going to look like are the ones that they're going to stick with for that Sarah J Maas is going to stick with for the rest of the books she releases in it. So I'd rather have those editions than these ones, because I like all my editions to sort of match. Those are getting donated, not for any bad reason. I like the aesthetic. I just like having things that all go together. The last book that I have to give away is Aesop's Fables. These are easy to come by. You can probably find them online actually, but this is a really nice classics edition, and I think children will be interested in reading it and picking it up. So there we go. That's the last book in this bag. I do have some other stuff, but it's mostly miscellaneous objects that you do not need to see because it's just from all my drawers basically. I have just repacked the bag and I have over 40 books again. So my second round of clear outs has amounted to another set of 40 books to give away. It means I just have the bare bones of my library, like special editions of things that I want to keep and things that are just precious to me. So that is the most important thing for me right now. I can't even pick this bag up to show you because it's massive. But I feel like I've done a lot, and I feel like this is a good place for me to end this. Whilst I know this video has probably gone by pretty quick, it's all a matter of me knowing myself and knowing what I will reread versus what I won't. And I think doing this and stripping my shelves down, like I have 2 of my shelves are practically empty, which is a big achievement for me. I mean, these books up here are the books that I have to take with me in my checked baggage on my plane, which is fine. I don't mind. Packing has sort of like taken over my life. Hopefully I can still finish all 14 books that I pledged to read this month. I still have a few to go. It's a lot has happened. If I post infrequently, please know it's not because it's not because I'm not reading. It might be because I'm not reading, but I'm also, my primary focus for the next few months is me moving. And while it's nice to film with a shelf of books in the background, it's not going to happen. It's not going to be like this for a while. And once I've moved and I have a setup in the place that I will be staying for a bit, it'll be good. But for now, I think this is probably going to be the last video that you actually see of me with books on my shelves. So cheers to that. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you want more bookish content. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, depending on when you're watching this. Stay safe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.